reinforcements. Complaining a little bit. These guys, you know, off of 6 barracks, able to macro up a ton of units, not even with stim yet. All he got was concussive shells though. Uh-oh. These units just rallying, all they're trying to move in for positioning. How are we going to be able to win against this? None of these barracks producing units. All of these units in the main, look at this, they're everywhere. A ton of marauders, a ton of marines, a few stalkers. Buildings lifting off everywhere. My allies still trying to hold it together, trying to rebuild on these expansions, making some mutilisks. Orbital command flies away, lost a barracks there. That could have flown away. Look at this, 4 barracks, starport, factory still alive. But look at all these units. If these units discover this expansion, it could go, this main base now could go down very easily. But will they find it? They might just scout around the ramp, might assume we have other bases just to be safe. But we have, but also these buildings flying around. Opponents have no tech at all to be able to just yet. And wait, look at this. No resource patches left. That one just emptying out. This one 100 left. Looking at the income, the only player with income is my ally here. Paladin as a Zerg player, getting up some spine crawls, trying to get some defense. As look at this, they must have sniffed out this expansion somehow. Perhaps a scan went down or something. Nope, no scan went down, looking at their vision. But maybe they just decided to move around the ramp instead, map, while waiting for some air units to be able to take out my flying buildings. Moving back here, trying to bypass the spine crawlers and trying to take out the workers. But a lot of units here, only 3 spine crawlers, trying to make some Zerglings here to try to defend with mutilisks flying around. Mutilisks would not be able to do much against all of these forces. But over here, look at this. I am able to land again. They left no units here behind to be able to scout. Macroing up more marines. Even got a reactor on one of those, trying to mine off this one orbital command using my mule drop down. But these units able to easily take down this expansion. Let's see, my allies, mutilisks moving in here to be able to deal more economic damage to this player. This player used up the last of his resources to produce a ton of units off of these gateways. The mutilisks moving into the negative space back here, able to swing back around to the Protoss player, leaving his drones behind, getting more economic damage in. First the Terran base, now the Protoss going to be losing a lot of workers here. Protoss player trying to move his forces back over to be able to protect these workers. Looks like they're moving out, trying to get away from those mutilisks. Where are they going though? Moving out here. Meanwhile, the other player microing this force over here, take out the other expansion. Terran player rallying units over here, not even using his drop down. Look at that, 200 energy on that. Looking at the income, there's still hardly any. Using all 4 mules could be very effective. Oh, look at this. My ally, actually it shows this as me being controlled, but I know my ally controlled these units. I put on shared control my ally using a dropship and a group of marines to be able to move around here, and my ally using his mutilisks getting more economic damage in. But where are these stalkers going? What are they doing? They must be targeting these mutilisks because they're walking right past my army. Looking at the hit point bars here, a ton of damage on those stalkers moving by, and now the zealots probably even taking down some of these probes. But the mutilisks fly away, try to go over that chasm again. the stalkers turn back around and re-engage my Marines. Marines taking down lots of stalkers here. Mutalisks come in to engage again. Meanwhile, look at this. This player goes back, scouts my base again, turns back around to try to defend their workers. But if he had gone into my base just slightly more, he would have found all my production buildings, probably could have taken all those down. Here I am macroing up more SCVs while doing this, using my mules, using as much resources as I can to be able to get out as much army as I can. Trying to do as much economic damage as possible here to these players. But looking at this, they are down to this nexus, and Teal's orbital command flying around over here, trying to land again. And it looks like this small force was taken out yet again. This is all the units they have. Looking at the unit tab, no probes. Looks like 2 probes. Those probes look like they're mining gas. One's mining gas. One's sitting right here. These zealots, for some reason, sitting over here, they could have helped take out those Marines. We took out a lot of forces there. Finally, this player using his drop-down mule ability, training up 1 SCV. So far, that is their only income. Look at this. He has 3 SCVs, 4 mules. I'm on 6 SCVs and 1 mule. But I know he has a lot of forces. He's scouting around the map here again. Looks like he's leaving units around the map to be able to scout for expansions. And I know I had some pent-up resources, but off these production structures is the only thing I can train from. But instead I try to drop down all of these bunkers, because this could be over if they just simply look up this ramp with all of these units and move in there. Sorry. Off this one base, this player is getting up 5 SCVs now, queuing up a whole ton more. Could cancel a few of those, only train a few at a time. These players moving off the ramp, what are they doing? They're M-moving. Now they're trying to engage this bunker, but look at this. 4 bunkers. That large force gets weakened down. This factory actually out in front to able to spot. The factory not able to do much at this point. And almost all those forces go down, stimming a little bit. Probably looks like I stemmed all those forces. Definitely didn't need to do that, probably. Just to be able to catch up to these guys, only had to stem a few, because as you notice, they're not all firing. And there I go, only stemming a few, try to be able to catch up these guys, pick off as many units as I can, taking the watchtower to make sure there's no reinforcing units that would be able to overtake my small force. Now this player, looking at the production tab, queuing up 5 Marines opposed to my 3. His units make it back to his base. That would not be wise to engage at that point. And consistently queuing up more units. Looking at the income tab, I am still higher on income. Look at this, 9 SCVs opposed to opponent's 9 and 1 mule. Somehow on equal numbers of workers there. His just spiked up again, must have been that mule. I have some energy for a mule here, even some more saved up resources, but salvaging these bunkers, what am I going to do with it though? Looks like, thought I saw an SCV running around. Where's it going? Now look, now my opponent's moving out with a medevac again. Now it's highlighted blue. See where that medevac goes. Opponent's moving out here with forces again. Another large army. Finally those 3 zealots join the fray again. Still no stim pack upgrade. Those forces might not be able to do very much damage at all without that stim, but where are all my forces? Here they are. Have to rally those up. If he had continued moving in, could have taken out this small batch of forces. The rest of this would have been a piece of cake, but instead they decide to follow that SCV around and then finally decide to follow with just a few units. Definitely a better idea. But here they go, moving back again just to fend off a force of 8 Marines and a medevac. even have some forces back here that could have dealt with it themselves. Look at this, 9 Marines, more just got trained up. Could have easily dealt with those 8 Marines, but he pulls his whole force back, sending in these overlords for some reason, maybe just to scout that player's only mining base, but of course we don't know that. This is our vision. And let's see here, this is their vision. They still don't know these buildings have landed up there, but they know they think I have these bunkers, this orbital command here, my only mining base. And I'm just in a defensive posture here, expecting them. I didn't expect we dealt that much economic damage earlier in the game, basically crippled the Protoss player. And trying to make a forward position here. And they move in, take out some bunkers. I stem. Some of these units just moved into my Marines a little bit, it looks like. But this medevac, these forces have been used stem. And he's going to pull back again. Look at this, 16 Marines against his 9 now. My ally bringing back his forces would have definitely cleaned that up. And it looks like this game has turned. And let's see here, look at this, looking at the supply count again. It doesn't look like we have that much of an advantage here. Look at that, 59 supply versus my 33. A lot of Marines here. This player finally using long distance mining. This ally could easily send him 400 resources, be able to build a nexus here, would be able to chrono boost out tons of probes. If he had gotten back into this game, it would have been 1 versus 2, and we'll see how that plays out. Finally, look at this. These resource nodes, I never really got to mine from these hardly at all. Flying my orbital command down there, these resource nodes being almost gone. My ally saying thank you because for some reason he couldn't tell an SCV to repair that medevac, so I had to do it for him. Getting a second command center down. Our opponent just happened to be doing the same almost at the same time. Look at the timing here. Nope, mine is about 50% sooner. That just now finishing. My ally moving out with a medevac full of Marines again. That medevac doing a lot of harass already. Able to save me a couple of times just because the opponent overreacted and pulled back his whole forces. Cannot believe he did that. And he's got all of his supply depots down here. And as you notice, the opponent still has Marines sitting around at each expansion, trying to make sure we do not expand, but this medevac moving around cleaning all those units up. Because I don't have any units to spare to be able to go clean those up. I need to be able to be on as many bases as I can to catch up to this player, catch up to his supply count. Look at all these Marines he is training up. Still have no stems. He could easily have had stem or some medevacs. I still have my starport training out some medevacs. 92 to 52 supply, but I have bunkers and stim packs. Looks like stim pack has been very vital in this game so far. Able to stim me off all those forces. Oh no, for some reason that Marine didn't survive. Medevac able to pick all those units up, keep him from mining. Where did those SCVs go, or did he lose a bunch more SCVs again? Look at this, only 20 SCVs. For that matter, I only have 14, but I'm double training those now, as well as the opponent. And look at that, oh, looks like they got 3 supply depots. See if these burn down. 1 burned down. Marines moving in to try and scare them off. The other supply depot going down. Doesn't look like an SCV was even trying to move up there to protect it. Terran player now supply blocked even. Finally able to halt his advantage for a short period of time. And look at this. Keeping him down a mining base. just with a